Hello, dear students. How are you all? Hope you all are good, doing good. So, we are going to start on chapter triangles, congruency in triangles. Before starting this chapter and before starting the exercise, first of all, we are going to discuss the relation between sides and angles of a triangle. We all know that what is the side and what is the angle of a triangle. So first of all, we are going to deal with the relationship between these sides and angles of the triangle. In this, the first one is if all the sides of a triangle are of different lengths, its angles are also of different measures in such a way that the greater side has greater angle opposite to it. That means, let us suppose we are having a triangle ABC in which all the sides AB, AC and BC, these three are of different measure. Then the greater side has greatest angle opposite to it. For example, if I am having in triangle ABC, side AC greater than side BC greater than AB, like this. According to this given figure, AC is greater than BC is greater than AB, then angle opposite to AC. This is AC. Angle opposite to this AC is angle B. Angle opposite to BC. This is BC. Angle opposite to this BC is angle A. Angle opposite to AB. Angle opposite to AB is C. So, according to the given figure, if AC is greater than BC is greater than AB, then angle opposite to AC, that must be greater than angle opposite to BC, which is greater than angle opposite to AB. So B is greater than A is greater than C. That means you have to learn these relationships because we are going to use these things in our exercise, that angle opposite to greatest side is always greatest. You have to use this thing, that angle opposite to greater side is always greatest. You have to learn this. See, come to the next one. This is the converse part of this first one. If all the angles of a triangle have different measures, if all the angles are having different measures, then its sides are also of different lengths, and that length should be in such a way that the greater angle has greater side opposite to it. If I write that angle C is greater than angle A, angle C is greater than angle A, then side opposite to this angle C, side opposite to this angle C, which is AB, side opposite to this angle A, which is BC, AB is greater than BC. This is the converse part of your first relation. You have to memorize that always greater side has greatest angle opposite to it, and vice versa is true. That means greatest angle has greatest side opposite to it. Come to the next one. This is your third relation. If any two sides of triangle are equal, if any two sides of a triangle are equal, the angles opposite to them are also equal. See, if two sides of a triangle are equal, we know that triangles are known as isosceles triangles. If two sides of that triangles are equal, then that triangles are known as isosceles triangle. We all know this. Now, the main point is, if two sides of this triangle is equal, then angle opposite to these two sides are also equal. For example, see, in this triangle, AB is equals to AC. The angle opposite to AB is C. The angle opposite to AC is B. If AB is equals to AC, then angle C must be equals to angle B. And vice versa is also true. If any two angles of a triangle are equal, if this angle C is equals to angle B, then sides opposite to these two angles must be same. AB is equals to AC. Remember this thing, if in a triangle two sides are equal, then angles opposite to that two equal sides must be same, And if in a triangle two angles are equal, then sides opposite to that two angles, that must be same. This is very important relation, and we have to use this relation in our exercise also. Come to the fourth one and the last one. This is if all the sides of a triangle are equal. If all the sides AB is equals to AC is equals to BC, if all the sides of a triangle are equal, then all its angles are also equal, because we know that angles opposite to equal sides are equal. See, if this side is equals to this one, then this angle must, if AB is equals to AC, then angle B is equals to angle C. But AC is also equals to BC, so angle A is equals to B. Angle A is equals to angle B is equals to angle C. We can say that these three angles are same. So you have to learn this relation, that if all the sides of triangle are equal, if all the sides are equal, then its angles are also equal. And its vice versa part is converse is always true, that if all the angles of a triangle are equal, then all its sides are equal. We can take the example of an equilateral triangle. We all know that in an equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal and all the three angles are equals to 60 degrees. You can take the example of equilateral triangle to understand this thing, that if all the sides of a triangle are equal, then all its angles are also equal. Conversely, if all the angles of a triangle are equal, then its sides are also equal. See, there are few important terms and you have to understand the difference between these two, because see, the first one is median and the second one is altitude. Median, midpoint, that point which divides a given line segment into two equal parts. Don't confuse this word median with altitude. Altitude is the perpendicular length. So, see, what is median? The median of a triangle corresponding to any side is the line joining the midpoint of that side with the opposite vertex. If I want to find the median of this BC, see, here D is the median because D is dividing this BC into two equal parts, BD and DC. This median D corresponding to this side BC is the line which joins this midpoint D with the opposite vertex A. We all know that these are the vertex, this is the side, what is the angle. So now we have to understand what is median. If D is the midpoint of this BC, then the line joining this midpoint and the opposite vertex of this BC is known as median. Here in this case AD is median, in this case BE is median, CF is median. But what is altitude? Altitude of a triangle corresponding to any side. From this side BC, corresponding to this side BC, D is a point where this altitude AD is there. See, an altitude of a triangle corresponding to any side is the length of the perpendicular. The length of the perpendicular. See, this AD makes the angle 90 degree at point D. So this is a perpendicular. An altitude of a triangle corresponding to any side is the length of the perpendicular drawn from the opposite vertex to that side. Altitude of a triangle is the length of this perpendicular AD, which is drawn from the opposite vertex A to that side BC at point D. Here AD is the altitude, in this case BE is altitude, here CF is altitude. The points which you have to memorize, that is, what is centroid? The point of intersection of medians is also called centroid of triangle. And always remember that centroid of a triangle divides each median in the ratio 2:1. If I draw the median, this AD, BE, CF, then the meeting point of that median is known as centroid, and that centroid divides each median in the ratio 2:1. What is altitude? Now it is clear to you that altitude is the length of perpendicular drawn from the opposite vertex to that side. Now, if I join these three altitudes, this AD, this BF, BE, and this CF, if I join these altitudes, then the point of intersection of these altitude is known as orthocenter. And a triangle has three altitudes, and all the three altitudes are always concurrent. This is altitude AD, altitude BE, altitude CF. These three altitudes are concurrent because they always meet at a single point, at one point only, and that point of intersection is known as orthocenter. See, here we are having few things about the triangle, and we all know the first one, that the sum of angles of a triangle is always equals to 180 degree, or we can say that is equals to two right angles, that is 180 degree, right? Two right angles, sum of two right angles, 90 degree plus 90 degree, 180. The sum of angles of a triangle is always equals to two right angles, that is 180 degree. If one side of a triangle is produced, the exterior angle so formed is equals to sum of two interior opposite angles. See, this is a triangle ABC. Let us suppose I am going to produce this side BC. Then this is the exterior angle. This one, this is the exterior angle. Always keep this thing in your mind that exterior angle is always equals to the sum of two opposite interior angles. So ये C है, this is A, this is B, ये दोनों interior angles हुए. So this exterior angle C is equals to angle A plus angle B. Similarly for other sides also. This is shown to you that this is triangle ABC. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equals to two right angles, which is 180 degree. Exterior angle A, exterior angle B, exterior angle C. Here are the values of that exterior angles. But always remember that exterior angle is equals to sum of two opposite interior angles. And if that one side of the triangle is produced, then exterior angle so formed is always greater than each of the interior opposite angles. It is understood only. See, if this exterior angle is sum of these two, let us suppose this A angle is 60 degree, this B is 60 degree, then 60 plus 60, 20, sorry, 120. This C is 120, and we all know that 120 is greater than 60. So exterior angle so formed is greater than each of interior opposite angles. And one important thing, that triangle cannot have more than one right angles. So many times we just confused with these things. What is obtuse angle and what is acute, what is right angle? But right angle, that is 90 degree, whose measure is 90 degree. Always remember this thing, that triangle cannot have more than one right angle. Similarly, triangle cannot have more than one obtuse angle, which is greater than 90 degree. Now, triangle cannot have more than one obtuse angle. Triangle cannot have more than one right angles. And in a right angled triangle, that means in which one angle is 90 degree, the sum of other two angles, acute angles, that acute angles may be of the same length if that is isosceles triangle, but that may be different, of different measures. Sorry, I mistake. Yes. The sum of other two angles, that is acute angles, is 90 degree. But now you have to clear your things regarding these things, that what is right angle, what is obtuse, what is acute angles. So right angle is of measure 90 degree. And don't forget, you can't draw two 90 degree angles in a single triangle, because a triangle cannot have more than one right angle. A triangle cannot have more than one obtuse angle 91 degree, 92 degree, 93 degree, and so on. And if a triangle is a right angle triangle in which already one angle is of 90-degree measure, then the sum of other two angles must be 90-degree. And in every triangle, at least two angles are acute. If I took the example of equilateral triangle, then we all know that equilateral triangle is having all the three sides equal, all the angles equal, and that measure of that equal angles are 60 degree. Acute angles, at least two angles are acute. कम से कम दो angles acute हैं. At least two angles are acute. If two angles of a triangle are equal to two angles of any other triangle, each to each, then the third angles of both the triangles are equal. Let us suppose I am having two triangles, and in that two triangles, two angles are having same measure. One is of 45 degree, other one is of 45 degree. In the other triangle also, one is 45 degree, other is also 45 degree. 45 plus 45, 90. We all know that sum of angles of a triangle is 180. Then 180 minus 90, the third angle must be 90 degree. For the second triangle also, the angles are 45, 45. So the third angle must be 90 degree. That means if we are having two triangles and it is given to us that angle B is equal, angle B, let us suppose I am having two triangles ABC and DEF. ABC and DEF, and if angle B is equals to angle E, angle C is equals to angle F, then angle A must be equals to angle B. You have to learn these things, you have to memorize these things, that sum of angles is equals to 180 degree, exterior angle is equals to sum of two interior opposite angles, triangle cannot have more than one right angle and cannot have more than one obtuse angle. At least two angles are acute in every triangle. Now come to the main part, congruent triangles. What are congruent triangles? Two triangles are said to be congruent to each other if on placing one over the other, they exactly coincide. If I place this ABC over this DEF, and if I place this ABC over this DEF, and I'm not able to see that DEF is behind that ABC, that means these two triangles are congruent because ABC hide completely DEF. Two triangles are said to be congruent if on placing one over the other, they exactly coincide. In fact, two triangles are congruent if they have exactly the same shape and the same size. Exactly the same shape. Triangles with same shape means angles of one triangle are equal to angles of other triangle. Same shape means angles of one triangle are equal to angles of other triangle. See, in these two triangles, angle A is equal to angle D, angle B is equal to angle E, and angle C is equal to angle F. And triangles with same size means sides of one triangle is equals to sides of other two triangles. In these two triangles, AB is equals to DE, BC is equals to EF, and AC is equals to DF. That is, all the angles and all the sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding angles and corresponding sides of other triangle each to each. See, the given figure shows the two triangles ABC and DEF. As we have studied that angle A is equals to angle D, angle B is equals to angle E, angle C is equals to angle F. AB is equals to DE, BC is equals to EF, AC is equals to DF. Then triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. And this is the symbol for that is congruent to. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. This symbol is read as is congruent to. We have few conditions for the congruency. How can we say that two triangles are congruent? For that thing, we have few conditions. What are that conditions? The first one is SAS. Here S stands for side and A stands for angle. Please don't forget this sequence because you have to write according to the sequence. SAS. That means two sides and included angle. See, AB, DE, BC, EF, and included angle of these two sides, V, included angle of these two sides, E. That means side, angle, side. This is the condition for congruency. First condition, if two sides and included angle of one triangle are equal to two sides and included angle of the other triangle, then triangles are congruent by the axiom SAS. You can say it by SAS axiom, by postulate SAS, by condition SAS, or simply by SAS. Choice is yours. But you have to maintain the sequence whatever that is SAS, side, angle, side. Triangles will be congruent only when the equal sides are the included angles. When the equal angles are the included angles. See, if in these two triangles, it is given to us that AB is equals to DE, BC is equals to EF, but angle F is equals to angle C. So here we can't apply SAS because that angle is not included between that A side AB and BC. So you have to follow the sequence side, angle, side. That means if you find two sides are equal, then angle included, that must be equal. So this is our SAS. Come to the next axiom, which can be abbreviated as ASA, angle, side, angle. Now here, side is at the middle. That means included side. If I found two angles are equal, then the included side must be equal. If two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the included side of the other triangle, then triangles are congruent and abbreviated as ASA. If this is angle, side, angle, that means for the triangle ABC and DEF, angle A is equals to angle D, angle B is equals to angle E. These are the two angles. Now, what is that common side which is included between this A and B? That is AB. What is the side included between angle D and E? That is DE. See, AB is also equals to DE. That means our condition satisfied. Angle, side, angle. That means side included that two angles. This is our second axiom. The first we have done SAS, side, angle, side. Second, angle, side, angle. Come to the third one. This is angle, angle, side. See, there is a difference between angle, side, angle. Here also two angles are there, but side is written in between these two angles. So we have to check the included side. If we are going to use angle, angle, side, that means we are not dealing with the included side of that angles. Angle, angle, come to the next side. Angle, angle, next side. If two angles and one side of the triangle are equal to two angles and the corresponding side of the other triangle, then triangles are congruent. Congruent by angle, angle, side. Angle A is equals to angle D, angle B is equals to angle E, side BC is equals to side EF. This is angle, angle, side. So we have done the three conditions. One is SAS, second one is ASA, the third one is AAS. Now come with the fourth one. This is side, side, side. Because already I had told you that S stands for side and A stands for angle. If all the three sides of one triangle are equal to all the three sides of another triangle, then these two triangles must be congruent. If you remember now, we have done this thing. Triangles with same size. Sides of one triangle are equal to sides of another triangle. Here we are having again two triangles ABC and DEF. AB is equals to DE, BC is equals to EF, AC is equals to DF. That means all the three sides are equal to another three sides of another triangle. So by using SSS, we can say that these two triangles are congruent. Come to the last one, the important one, fifth axiom. This is RHS. If there is a right angle triangle, then you have to just mention that in two right angle triangles ABC and DEF, where angle B is equals to angle E is equals to 90 degree. If two right angled triangles are congruent, then for that case, you have to check whether the hypotenuse are of equal length. Yes, in this case, AC is equals to DF. Hypotenuse is of same length. And you have to check one side of the triangle. That means either this base BC should be equals to EF or this perpendicular AB should be equals to DE. Hypotenuse is must. In this condition, RHS, hypotenuse is must. But you have to check for the other side, whether perpendicular is equals to perpendicular or whether base is equals to base. You have to check this. Hypotenuse is compulsory for RHS. If you are having triangle ABC and DEF, having angle B and angle E 90 degree, then you can apply RHS if hypotenuse and any of the other side is same between these two triangles. So we can say that these two triangles are congruent by using RHS. So we have done 5 axioms. One is SAS. SAS means side angle side. Angle including that between angle included in that sides. The second one was angle side angle. That means here the side included that angles. Third one is angle angle side. Fourth one was side side side. All the sides must be of same length. And the third one is RHS. In this case, you have to check if hypotenuse of both the triangles are same and either side, that whether it is perpendicular or base, that must be equal. Then we can say that by using RHS, these two triangles are congruent. The axiom AAS, angle angle side, is another form of angle side angle. See, this is what we have done earlier. Na? You have to memorize this thing that angle side axiom is another form of angle side angle. Here in this case, that side must be included one. This is compulsory for that side. But here in this case, no compulsion. You have to just check angle, angle, side or angle, angle, this side. Choices according to that question we can check. So this is your theorem. We are going to deal with this. The angle angle side axiom is another form of axiom angle side angle. In the figure given alongside, you can check angle A is equals to angle D, B is equals to angle E, and side AC is equals to DF. That means these two triangles are congruent by angle angle side. Since the sum of the angles of every triangle is 180 degree, if any two angles, see, A is equals to D, B is equals to E, that means angle C must be equals to angle F. Angle C must be equals to angle F. Then for that case, this is angle C, this is angle A, included side is equal. This is angle D, angle F, included side is equal. So we can say that angle angle side axiom is another form of axiom angle side angle. If you can show now that whether this if you can show that this angle C is equals to this angle F, then you can also write the axiom angle side angle. Choices totally depends upon you. So this is all for this introduction class. Now you have to memorize these things, that what are the congruent triangles and what are the conditions to check the congruency. 5 conditions are there. One is SAS, another one is ASA, third one is AAS, fourth one is triple S, and the last one is RHS. Try to memorize these things. Try to understand the difference between the median and altitude. This is all for today. Thank you. So please memorize these things. Learn by your heart because these are very, very, very important.